welcome to day 22. I have to look at it again because I couldn't believe it. So, glad to have you here and looking forward to sharing a little bit about the snake today, but also about sensing energy. And I know we've talked about it a little bit before, but I thought I would just bring it into the conversation again. Okay, so we're going to explore a little bit with how you can sense energy as you're going through your day, and then how you can shift what you're sensing. And sometimes we don't think in those terms. We just think when we're doing Tai Chi. We're going to talk about that a little bit. And then I had mentioned that we would be doing the snakes. So we're going to do the snakes from the Tai Chi set, but we're also going to work from the low cup set. So we'll have those pieces come in there. So while we're waiting for other people to find the broadcast, let's do the Tai Chi set up to, we're almost to the end of the second part. See if we can get almost to the end of the second part. Okay, so I'm going to do seated. If you wish to do it standing, you are free to do that. And I'll have a cat here that'll think she needs to go through that door. Okay, so let's put a bow in. Bring gratitude in and compassion so that we can send energy to those who need it by just our actions of being involved. Beautiful. Okay, so commencement. Nice big breath. Let everything just completely relax. Left grass bird's tail. Into grass bird's tail. And today, put your fingertip into the palm of your hand, and that's where you help brain power. So we'll just shift it a little bit today. Usually we've been putting it into the wrist. Whip to one side, so the hands are going to turn, fingertips are going to go across. Just let that come through, and then reach out. We have step up to raise hands. So those people just coming on, just waiting for everybody to get here. So we're just running through the Tai Chi set. We're going to try to get through most of the second part. Reach up nice and tall. White stork spreads wings. Brush knee left. Strong the K-paw. Open, and then brush knee left. Twist step, brush knee right, twist step, brush knee left. Half a step, strong the paper, brush knee left. Hold the flowers. It's going to lift you up. Wipe the sleeve, and then falling forward. Wipe the sleeve. Two hands. And then sink. Hands are open. Sinking back, just let that back relax. Brush knee right. Palm to palm. Opening the hands. Two hands are going forward. This is going to come through, whip out diagonal, dropping the elbows, and whip out. There we go. Fist goes underneath the elbow. Palm is facing you. You rise up, and as the palm gets there, there's a sink. So we work through all of these actions, different ways over the last few weeks. Sinking back. Sinking back. Open. And then just let that come around. up to raise hands. White stork spreads wings. Brush knee left. Pushing the needle to C bottom, the right hand points to the floor. And then reach out. Fan penetrates back. Deflect, parry, and punch. Grass bird's tail. Fingertip is going into the palm. We're just allowing a little bit more power to the brain today. Fingertips face each other for whip to one side, bringing it across. Let that go. Move hands like clouds. It's coming over, and let that come through. Comes out, whip to one side. Okay, high pat on horse. We haven't really worked through this one so much, but it's a nice easy one. Crossing the hands, this would be a toe kick. And reach. So many ways you can play with the back here. That's going to turn. Heel kick again. And we have a brush knee. Right. Left. I did this yesterday. Put me on the wrong hand. Put one in on the right. An extra one. And then this is going to come through, low punch. Sorry about that. Just a little different when you're seated. Turn and chop. Wipe the sleeve. Hold the flowers. Deflect, parry, and punch. This is where we stopped last day. So I'm just going to go a little bit further. This will have a kick. And then we're going to go up to hold the flowers. And then strike the tiger on the left side. So the left hand comes up and through. Hold the flowers. Right hand is going to come through. That's going to come back. Heel kick. Cross. Fingers are going to come around. You could circle all the way around. Strike the tiger on both ears. Let that go. This would be a kick. A turn. A kick. That comes in, out, wipe the sleeve. I will take this down. And this is our appear to close entrance at the end of part 2. And then let that come down. And we're going to finish there because we have worked through Fair Lady Shuttle, but I just want to bring that into here for today. Beautiful. Okay. Now what I want you to notice is, where is the energy? So for me, I can just feel like it's like vibrating everywhere. The whole body is vibrating. And if I was to take my hand to feel where, if I go like this across my arm, It feels like I'm actually moving the hairs on my arm. That's how much energy I've got moving. So just play with that a little bit to see what you sense, because that's what you want to know about. So when you're standing in the kitchen doing the dishes and you're feeling tired and you go, what can I do? And you start to think about, when do I have energy? When I'm doing Tai Chi, I have energy. What does it feel like? And just start to bring it in, pull it in. Use the techniques that you practice every day that creates flow, but then transfer it over to times in your life when you might not have so much flow and you need a little boost. That's much easier than being in isolation right now, grabbing a cookie, going for the potato chips, another cup of coffee, binge eating on something you normally wouldn't eat. It's really easy to shift over because your body's looking for some way to boost the energy up, and it's like an energetic thing for you to grab those kind of things. So instead of going that direction, you actually think about, how do I pull in the energy to support myself at the moment where I am? Okay? Thanks for the thumbs up. We all have the same thoughts. All of us, I'm included. So yesterday we did time of day balance, which was rubbing the ears. So that's a good way to bring yourself back. So let's do that right now. So I know it's like about 5:15 my time, and I'm just rubbing the outer edge of my ear, and a little bit in, and a little bit more in, and then come around to the other side. Okay, so this is a great way, especially later afternoon, and you haven't drunk enough water. That can be one way that you might not have the energy flow happening. You could add drinking water. That would be a concept. So put some water in. Now, just notice what you're feeling. I can feel my ears are heating up at the moment from rubbing my ears, which means then I've stimulated all the way through the system. But I can still feel that energy on my arm from just having run that set. So that's fabulous. So now, something we played with for the last, I think it was last week we worked on it, standing on your feet and noticing, what does it feel like to stand on your feet? Are you connected completely through the ball of the foot, all the toes? So my right foot, my toes are not as connected as my left. And there's a little bit more weight into the ball of the foot, but now it's starting to even out. Ball of the foot meaning big ball of the foot, so to the inside, rather than big ball all the way across to the little ball, clear across there. Now it's starting to even out just because I brought awareness in. So now I'm just checking in, are my knees locked? They're not. I've worked really hard to not have locked knees. I came from hyperextended knees, and they never hyperextend anymore. And so lots of times I can pretty much keep them pretty fluid, but I have to really think about, or used to have to really think about that. Now it's from the Tai Chi, it's not. Okay, so then I have the hips. They're a little bit on the tighter side. Some sitting today, some up and down, back and forth. And yesterday I was out in the garden, so I was doing lots of bending. So I noticed that was a little bit tighter, mostly through my lower back. Okay, so I just want to bring those kinds of awareness pieces in for you so you can kind of pay attention. Maybe you've got something between the shoulder blades. Maybe there's something in that lower back. And last week, when we did emotions in the spine, we talked about which emotions are linked to which parts in the spine. So if you get really tight in a spot and it locks up, very often you'll experience your day from that emotion, or that emotion will show up. So if it was in the middle of the shoulder blades, that would be worry. And so if you're really worried about something, you may start to notice that it's just a little bit tight, and then the worry increases if you don't do anything about it. Or that lower back, that was flying off the handle, little rage outbursts. And you wonder, why did I do that? And then you think, oh, it's because we've been confined for a long time. That's why. But it's actually the lower back just got tight, and if we loosen it up, it'll change. So I want you to bring awareness in. Now, while you're standing there, can you feel the same energy you created while you were doing the set? Okay, so as you're thinking of all these pieces, let's just do just commencement and bring that flow in that we've explored for the last few weeks. Let the energy just Come up through the feet. It's going to go right up the top of the head. You can circle down in front of you, back into the ground, and then you can pull it back up. Or you can go down into the ground, circles up in front of you, comes down through the top of the head, all the way down into the feet. It's another way you could do it. Or if you want to do the cycle of central and governing, you know that central comes up the front of the body, flows down the center of the body, and governing comes up from the tailbone over the top of the head, goes back down the center and hooks up to central. We did that yesterday. All right, so just creating that nice flow. Okay, hopefully that's feeling good. Hopefully you've brought that awareness back in. So let's try just walking on the feet and just feel what it feels like. So just go for a walk and notice what your foot feels like, what your ankle feels like. Maybe there's a couple cracks in there. Knees. Knees are always a good gauge for me. There's already a crack in my knees. I'm just going to go backwards and sideways too, because that is also an indication of how things are. All right. And then if we had lots of space, not just the kitchen or your living room, you could notice if the arms are swinging. You could notice if the leg is swinging straight forward, or if the hip is doing a push to bring it across. Just making sure that everything is flowing nice and easy. So just being really aware of how you're moving. Okay, so then if you're at the kitchen sink doing the dishes, noticing, are you relaxed? Everything's soft, even though you're doing the dishes. Have you got everything in your Tai Chi stance while you're there? Okay, so let's go from there to standing Danyu, unless you need to be seated. Then do the seated Danyu. And we've done lots of those, so you should know what you're doing with those. So feet are shoulder width apart, 45, heels go straight, toes go just a little bit. And we're going to do a high Danyu. Not going to worry about going too low, because again, I want to make sure you're doing them well. But we're opening the lower back. So it's going to sink. I'm not going very far because I can feel my back is a little tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on what we felt in the last week or so, working up through the spine, putting space in between the joints. And I'm going to try to sense that while I'm doing this action. I can notice that my stomach had to relax to get the air in, so I must have been holding my breath a little bit. And there's a few cracks coming down the spine, and a little bit of pain in the knee. So the knees, that's telling me my hips are tight, because then usually my knees don't line up correctly. That's when the pain sneaks in. Okay, so definitely too much indoors, not enough outdoors, but we all know about that. And sink. Okay. So what I'm noticing is, as I'm doing that, I don't know how many we did there, a dozen or something, it was getting tighter and tighter. If I had gone down into a deep Danyu, I would have tensed it up even more, and I would have been pulling the tissue instead of allowing it to turn into an elastic. So by being aware of where my body was at and how the things were lining up, I was able to gauge what I am capable of. So I know we talked about in Tai Chi, 40% effort if you have an injury, 70% effort if there isn't any aches or pains, and 70% effort means you're not going to go wild and go until you're exhausted. You actually are going until you flow, till everything starts to let go and relax. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so I noticed I'm tight, so I want to change that a little bit. You can stay seated, or you do this standing. This comes from low cup, one of my favorite moves. So the palms are flat. I'm going to do this through awareness. So I'm going to connect to the palms. I'm going to connect to my feet, and immediately I can see the energy, feel the energy in my feet coming up. Then I'm going to drop the fingers, which drops my hip just a little bit. Just lets go. Roll the fingers, turn the palms so they're up, and then pull back. Okay, so I know if you're on a small camera like a tablet, you can't really see, so I'm just going to come forward so you can see. Okay, so I'm connecting my palms to the floor, sink down, let the hips go. This is going to sink it even more down. My back is going to open, my hips let go, and then I can pull back. Crack, crack, crack. Okay, so that would have been T12, T11 in the lower part of my back, and the arch of my back just popped. Okay, so try it again. And I'm just giving you these awareness pieces just so you can see how I use Tai Chi to navigate what I have happening in my body. So it's not that I go, oh, my body's just tight. It's what signal is it giving me? And then with that signal, what do I want to be aware of and how do I want to change things? And again, it's very gentle. Just roll and sink. You may notice this all start to flow a little bit better. I hope so anyway. So down, roll, sink. Okay, so that's in low cup. And when we do it, there are two different ways of doing this. Depends on who you studied with. So I'm just going to do it the way I prefer to do it. And you can do it your way if you like. So you go down, sink, roll, turn your left toe towards the corner, and then stand on your left toe, place the foot, and it goes out. No, I haven't done this for a while, and it goes out. So we have flat, roll, turn the right foot, out. Flat, roll, turn the left toe, out. Flat. I know we only do 3 in the low cup set, but I'm going to keep going. Right foot turns, comes out. Flat, roll, turn the right foot, out. I'm going to run out of room. Okay, so let's do it one more time. What you may have noticed is how your back is feeling. So I just want you to bring awareness. Bring awareness now to your feet. Do you feel like you have all 9 points of the feet now connected to the floor and evenly, right and left foot are the same? Do you notice that you have all of the joints evenly relaxed, or is one side tighter than the other? Again, bring awareness in and then try to breathe through it and let it go. Okay, so let's try it again. So we have sink, right side turns, block, flat, roll, turn, relax. The hip let go that time. I could feel in the front of my hip, all of a sudden, there's movement. Sweet. Okay, roll. And reach. Flat, roll, and reach. Okay. I hope you felt something in there move, so you could sense that. I think the other day we talked about this, so flat, roll, and doing this is the same as inside in the hip socket, how the leg bones can move within the hip socket. So when you're doing this, if you hold tight, you're going nowhere. But if you relax it, when you do this, it's like everything lets go. So I don't know if you can see it from the side. You see my lower back start to move? And it looks like I'm just dropping in my knees. I'm not really dropping in my knees. That's the reaction that happens on the bottom. But what really happens is the hips release. Right there, they go like this. Then as this starts to turn, my lower back starts to pull apart. And then there's this softening that comes through when my hands have finished turning. So if I'm relaxed enough, I can get that. If I'm tense, I cannot get that. But can tell you my back is feeling much better now. So that's good. Okay, the reason I'm doing all of this is because I promised snakes today. And I know that's why you came to this session. You were dying to do a snake. So what I want to do is talk about opening the hip. There are lots of ways to do the snake. I'm going to stay up high because today my focus is on how is your leg turning inside the hip socket and how are you releasing within this core piece here and expanding it out. That's what I want to play with. That expansion means that the lower dantian, which is where we build energy and store it, where the golden pill is formed, that piece can't happen if it's locked. So you could try to do it in a toyu, in a brush knee, going forward and back. But if it's locked this way, you're going to get some movement this way, but you're never going to get this way. You already know from all the other things we've done, white stork spreads wings isn't just up and down, it's out at the same time. It's always moving in all directions. So you need this to be fluid when you go to do the snake. If it's not, you're not going to get a lot from it. You're just going to tense right up. So my focus is not down to the floor. My focus is up high and seeing how we can move and manipulate in the hip. Okay, so if I don't know what the best position is here. I'm going to kind of go sideways to you. Hopefully that's going to work. I'm going to turn my right toe to the corner, and I'm going to step with my left toe towards my front, which is the camera's on a little bit of an angle. All right, and you would have a whip to one side. All right, so now we have a couple of things happening here, so this is what we're going to play with. When I push down into my left foot to move back to my right foot in the toyu action, that is when I go from lined up here to release in the hip, open the hip, and let everything soften. That's what I want on that little action. It comes because I'm thinking about it, so I'm going to go with the belly first, and I'm going to let the back release, and then I can sink. Right. Okay? Now, as I'm doing that, my hands change. So my palm, which was here, softens to here, and you already know that changes how the hip is. My hand over here, which was a strike out on the end, has softened. So as my knee softens, my elbow softens, and there's a sink right there. Okay, so they're all working together. The shoulders will match, and if you smile, your jaw will let go, and you have that joint releasing also. Okay, so here we go. We have whip to one side, sink back by opening, 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 sink. Okay, so I'm hoping you felt that, because now I'm going to turn my right toe. So as I go to sink back, and I get into the right side, my right foot is going to open. For me, my front is over here, and my side is over here. So what I'm going to do is, my toe is now facing right to my side, and I'm going to let that go. So I'm going to just sink a little bit. My hip is behind my knee. My knee is behind my toe. So I'm protecting my knee. Okay. And then I'm going to take my left heel and turn it on an angle, which is to the camera. And then I'm allowed to let everything sink. So this would go, turn the left toe to the opposite corner and pull through. Okay. All right, I'm not sure if my angles are helping you or not. I'm going to face straight on. See if that helps. Okay, so you've got right toe is 45 from straight. Left foot is straight forward. Here's your whip to one side. And you're going to sink back and let the hip completely relax. Open the right toe, which is going to go to the side. Let the left heel slide over. So now your foot is facing that same direction, and you're going to sink. Turn the left toe and pull the hand through. In this case, it would be stand on the left foot. Okay. So again, you could drop to the floor. You could work on that. You could work on lengthening the spine. You could work on this flow that comes through the body. What I really want you to focus on today is how to get these hips to let go, open, and let everything go wide, and then it's going to turn and it's going to come back in. And that action builds energy, but also changes the dynamics of all the muscles within the hip. Okay, so let's do it again. So I'm not sure which is the best way for you, so I'm going to face you. Right foot to the corner, left foot straight forward. Okay, so we're going to sink back towards the right, open the right toe. Open the left heel, sit on the right leg, turn the left toe and pull your hand through. You're going to stand on the left foot, step walk back, stand on the right foot, open the hand, and then you would be into ward-off monkey, which would pull back. Okay, so now we have two movements that adjust the hip for you. This is standing on the left foot, Pakwa, standing on the right foot. Okay, if you notice the hands, so the hand would have come through from the snake, and the fingers would open like a lotus flower, and your left palm is going to go to the floor, which means your hip on that side is going to be positioned one direction, and then you're going to change hands, and now the other hip is going to be in that direction. So we actually end up changing things with our hands. So we open in the snake like this, we close it back up, and then when we stand, we're adjusting micro movements inside. Okay, so if you just stand on both feet, put your right hand up, your left hand is going to sink, and you're going to drop your tailbone with your palm going down. You'll feel right down your spine. So if you change it, hand comes up, this is going to go sink. And you can feel the opening come through the back. So you open sideways on the snake, and now you have the opportunity to open through the back, sink. And I know you haven't thought of that move that way, because most people will go stand, stand, right? It is frozen, but it's actually dynamic. Okay, so let's do the dynamic part. I'm going to turn myself again so I'm on the corner to you. So here's my front is over here. I'm going to sink back and open. Open my other heel. Sink. This is going to come through. So here's the lotus flower opening. And you drop down into that leg. Step Pakwa. Sink. Drop down into that leg. Open. Step Pakwa. And sink. And then you'll be able to start to play with that back. Okay, that's a lot of material in there. What I'm going to do is take us to seated. Just trying to see where the clock is in there. All right. So let's play with how this works seated, because it gives us some really cool actions. Okay, so we would have whip out to the side. Now you're not going to be dropping to the floor, but you're really going to be working your hips by opening. So you're going to sink back towards your tailbone from your sit bone. The hand is going to come down. You can feel your lower back completely open. Pull that hand up and open the lotus flower. And the left hand is going to sink down. And you're going to go from the sit bone down to the tailbone. Rise up through the spine, nice and long. And then this is going to go sit back to that tailbone again. And then you would be open, which is a rise up, which we did the other day. And then as the hands come in, spine lines up, but then you have this beautiful length. Comes through, lift, expand through the spine, palms turn, and this is going to come through and expand. So that's going straight back. Then you come up, so you're straight. Turn the hand and sink. I'm doing this just because we get so many beautiful actions here. Open, and this would come around, which gives us the spiral, and then brings us through. Okay, so let's just do the snake again. So you're here. So this is going to go sink. You feel that whole lower back comes through. Lotus flower opens. Then you have that palm pushing to the floor. Sink. Rises up. Sink. Open. It's got that rise in it. And then we have repulse monkey. Okay. All right, so that would give you the snake. It would be very easy in the snake to go forward and scoop. But if you do that, you're going to notice you have the lean forward, but you don't have the spine extension that you can get through the other move, and your arm swings, but it really doesn't have a connection to the movement. So what is the connection is how you can go back towards the tailbone, bring that through and feel everything lengthen and expand. And you get more of that by not leaning forward than you do from leaning forward. Okay, that gives you that piece. So I promised from low cut. So yesterday we did green dragon, puts out his claw. And the snakes in low cut are so beautiful because the hands are spiraling and then spiraling. I love them. Because we don't do that in Tai Chi. Now you can feel what we did do in Tai Chi, but now we're going to take that even more. And we're going to go right inside the socket and turn one way, and then we're going to open it and come back the other way. But you can't do it unless you have the awareness inside to know where the tension is and to feel it. So just to keep that in mind. So if Green Dragon puts out his claw, I'm just going to turn, I'm not sure what the best way is for this one either, but I'm going to put my right hand up and my left hand flat. Okay, so it's there. So now, rising up through the spine, the hands are going to change position, and then you're going to turn the palms up. This would come around and then spiral. Okay. There's a lot of movement in there. I could feel it in my shoulders, and I do have one shoulder that causes me some problems, so I felt actually more rotation in one shoulder than the other, and I didn't feel anything in my hip this time. So that tells me I have a lot more tension upstairs here than I do in my hips right now. So I need to make sure I change that. Okay, so that again, I'm just trying to give you some awareness pieces that you can play with. So it comes in. This is going to expand, turn the palms, and then you're going to roll them over so they come up. There's a spine rotation in there, and then we would come forward from that. Okay, but I just want to finish that little piece. So it looks like it's going to be a snake, right? From here, there's the rise up through the spine. You have the sink, which would be on the left leg. You have the transfer over, the spiral action, and then you would come out. Okay, that gives you what's happening seated. So if I slide this back, let's do the standing version. Okay, and again, I'm not sure what this direction is, so I'm going to go like this. Okay, so Green Dragon puts out his claw. You're going to sink back into the right leg. You have to open the back and let the hips go to do that. The hands cross, the left toe turns to your front, well, to the front where you are at the moment. It would be to the back if we were doing the set, but goes up onto the left foot, and then you're going to put out the right toe, and now this is going to slide down. And again, I'm not going to go very low. Heel goes down, and your heel turns with your hand to open up. and then you would put all the weight onto the right foot, and it would be a step, and we'd come through. But what I want to show you, I'll show you the right side. So the toe is going to go out to do the snake, and you're going to sink on the left, but your right hand goes down your right leg, but not because you bent, because you opened your hip. So here, heel goes down. Now as your hand turns and your shoulder turns in the socket, your hip opens in the socket too, and then you keep coming around and sink into that leg. Okay, so what this is doing on the top, this is doing on the bottom. Okay, so now let's go with the left side. So the left hand is down to the floor, and as you sink back, the left toe turns in, and the left hand is rising up. All your weight is now on the left leg, and the left hand has the palm to the ceiling. And as you go to slide into the snake, the left hand turns to face up and turns as far as it can one way in the socket, and then it's going to rotate all the way around in the socket to go the other way, and then it's going to swing through. So that leg, you've got the rise up. This is going to come through. There's an open, and then there's a close. Okay, you've got all those mechanics working. Why is it important to take your time with that? I think I talked about that last week, that how this moves in and out and how this moves in and out is sending information back to your brain, and the way everything integrates together is based on the mechanics of that. If there's anything not working right, you'll have dysfunction in movement patterns, but you'll also have a shift in posture and health. So this opening and closing is really important for nourishing the brain and the body to work in a unit. Okay, so let's do a couple of green dragons, and I'll be quiet. So pushing out, sink back, expand, lengthen, rotate, spiral, step through, and push. Okay, so let's do that again. Notice where there might be tightness. This is your awareness. Heel goes down, turn the left toe. Expand, lengthen, 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 sink, turn, roll, spiral, slide with your slippers, and out. Okay, that gives you some different ways to explore today. I think that's probably lots of information for one day. Again, well, there's just so much to say about Tai Chi. It's wonderful. So for those people that were able to join me today, I really appreciate it. I see right in here, I have Russ from the States, whom I didn't get to meet in Costa Rica. Thank you for joining us. I've got my mom on here. I hope you've enjoyed. I know you get to do low cup and Tai Chi out on the lawn. We have sunshine today, but we still have a little bit of snow left. And Jeanette, thank you also for being here. I appreciate it. I know there are other people on the call here, but I don't get to see quite everybody's names. I've got Charlotte, Alina. I don't know Alina, but I'm happy you're here. Rosemary made it. It's beautiful. Okay. And Jeanette was just commenting that when we did the snakes, reminding people, if you think about kids with full diaper and how they walk, they kind of walk open with the diaper in there. So it's a great, it's a great visual, is when you open up, just imagine, yeah, you've got that, yeah, you got that terrible feeling. Okay, thanks Jeanette, I've forgotten about that. Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day for Magic Monday, which it has been Magic Monday for me. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 5. And next, tomorrow is World Health Day tomorrow. So I thought what I would do is talk about, I've talked about lots of things over the 3 weeks, but I'm going to try to talk about some very simple, quick things that you can do. And one was today, gathering awareness. So tomorrow I'll do tips. All right. Have an awesome day. Thanks for being here.